your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the Ketu, as Ketu, which has recently has just transited in the nakshatra of Hasta. So guys, definitely on this channel, we have had our discussion many times on Ketu's contribution in our life. Whether it comes down to looking at Ketu's placement in your chart from your past lives connection, Ketu's nakshatra, Ketu's zodiac sign, Ketu's house placement, Ketu in the Navamsa, we have had our discussion in all of that. And definitely guys, transiting planets also becomes very important in churning out some new events, churning out or taking our attention towards certain areas of life. And when we talk about Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, which are very karmic in nature, and specifically it's the Ketu only which can give you access to something which might be very unique, which might be very extraordinary, or which might be connected with a process which your soul has initiated from the past life. So yes guys, the transition at the time when I'm recording this video, or by the time I will upload this video, the transition had already happened, and it is going to be like this. Like Ketu is going to be transiting in the Hasta Nakshatra for a long span of time till December 12. So what can we expect and how the results are going to be? That is something which is going to be a epicenter of our today's discussion. So guys, to begin with, definitely this transit will become more important for all those people who have, like, either you're born on 7th of any month, 16th of any month, 25th of any month, you're right now going through the Ketu Mahadasha, your Ketu is conjunct with Moon, or your Ketu is placed in the first house, or your important planets whose Dasha is currently going on, those planets are placed in the Hasta Nakshatra. Now comes the point of discussion that why Ketu is important in our life. So like the way guys, I always say this thing that even if we will take into consideration the esoteric and mysterious side of Ketu, Ketu is a very extreme planet. Ketu represents that part of your bhagya, that part of your destiny which you cannot evade, and anything to do with the extrasensory perception, psychic abilities on a positive end, and on a negative end, extremities, fundamentalism, insanity related concerns, and all those limbs lost in the accidents, surgeries also come in the purview of the Ketu. So that in itself means Ketu's transit becomes very important. And on a material plane, definitely guys, in whichever field we are operating, we are working, we definitely want to be expert in that field. We want to be seen as a perfectionist in that field. Ketu can grant us that. So guys, I was watching one of the session on Vastu, where this very respectful teacher mentioned this thing that when it comes down to a lot many times for the matchmaking purposes, let's say for example, so it's a lifetime thing. It's not like something you're getting married every day. So you might have all the knowledge of astrology, you can do it by your own, but still there is someone who's doing it professionally. That means God or Devata connected with that field has been activated by that person. So it will be much better that if you will go to that person to listen the final ultimate outcome on the matchmaking. So I'm not here promoting myself or any other astrologer, but the thing is that whatever field you are doing, you're operating. So definitely in terms of spirituality, there is a God which is connected with that specific field, and if you want that God to be happy with you, there might be so many dentists, but if you want to be the best in your line of work, Ketu can definitely give you some answer and insight over there. And if Ketu has got some connection with your 10th house, with your ascendant, with your 5th house, with your moon, so that expertise or specialization might have been acquired from the past life as well. So yes guys, that is what the importance of Ketu is. And when we talk about Hasta, so understand this thing guys, that because I started my journey in occult first from the palmistry, and in the field of palmistry, even the goddess which is connected with the Hasta, Devi Panchanguli, is propitiated to get that siddhi, because definitely guys, there is a restriction to which you can predict from palm, but there are those people I have met, I have heard, I have known, just looking at your palm, they can draw your whole chart as well. Looking at your palm, they can tell you your date of birth as well. Now the the numbers of those people is limited, but definitely that possibility is there, and somehow all the knowledge of palmistry is connected with the Devi Panchanguli or the Hasta Nakshatra. Even from the Mahabharata, Nakul and Sahadev were born in the influence of this nakshatra, and along with that, the power which this nakshatra has got is Hasta Sthapnya Agama Shakti. It means to give you the fruit of your desire in your hand. And also guys, when we talk about the Hasta, the good part is that in the energy of the Hasta, you will find the prominence of important planets, like it is being ruled by the moon. The Devata, the god which preside over this nakshatra is the Savitar. And even if I were to say the most potent and powerful mantra, which is the Gayatri mantra. So even in the Gayatri mantra, we propitiate one of the Aditya Savitar only. So that means that and along with that, this nakshatra falls in the jurisdiction of the Mercury in the Virgo sign. So you'll find the amalgamation of the energies of the sun, of moon, and of Mercury in the functioning of this nakshatra. And like the way I mentioned this thing, all the modern day handyman, all the modern day expert people in their line of work, you will definitely see them under the influence of the Hasta. And guys, when we talk about the innate nature of Hasta, you will not find these people to be kind of very bigot. They are very like fun loving. They are very like, they want to make everyone happy. They are like seen as the satirist in the zodiac belt. So yes guys, these are some of the qualities of the Hasta. Now if you have to make a blend of Ketu and Hasta and how this energy will function in your life, so guys, that's very self-explanatory. Definitely when we talk about that you are struggling to carve a niche for yourself, or there has been those hunches to you, those instincts and those whispers in your ears that I could be a good astrologer, I could be a good dancer, I should try my hands in these things. So Ketu's influence in the Hasta can trigger and churn out all those kind of results, and nothing would be better than that. The way I mentioned, if your moon nakshatra is Hasta in itself, you're right now going through the Ketu dasha, your Ketu is placed in the 5th house, or Hasta energy falls in your like you being a Taurus Lagna, the Virgo energy falls in your 5th house. So all those possibilities can be foreseen with this entry of Ketu in the Hasta Nakshatra. So yes guys, if I were to make a blend or overlap of one virtue, one quality on a material plane, that is going to be of perfection, and on a mystic plane, that is definitely about finding your calling or finding that niche or missing loop which you might have initiated from the past life. So yes guys, now we will briefly look at all the rising signs, that how this transition in the nakshatra of the Ketu is going to be influencing you specific to your Lagna. So guys, starting first with the Aries Lagna natives. So definitely guys, when we talk about the functioning of the Ketu, I somehow take into consideration the energies of the Scorpio as well, and lot many like Vedic astrologers also see Rahu as the co-ruler of the Aquarius and Ketu as the co-ruler of Scorpio as well. So guys, for the Aries Lagna natives, definitely it is going to be, this transition is going to be taking place in your 6th house. Now the good part is that Ketu, which has got a co-rulership over your like 8th house, and definitely it is taking place in the nakshatra of moon, which in your case has got a rulership over the 4th house. So definitely guys, when we talk about gaining that perfection and expertise in your line of work, this could be a very blessed time for you. When it comes down to exertion of the authority in a very precise way, it is going to be a very blessed transit for you. Like whatsoever is gonna happen, it will happen in a very sudden, unpredictable way, landing at your calling, landing at something which for long you have been seeking. So those kind of things can happen. Honestly speaking guys, till the time I did not discover like palmistry, astrology, all these occult subjects, and working on them professionally, I would say this thing, that apart from these things, there was nothing else in my life I was so passionate about. So the point which I'm saying over here is that something which will deeply connect with you, those kind of results can be foreseen. The only way I'm seeing the Aries Lagna vulnerable is that if, let's say for example, you are going through the vulnerable aspect of the sixth house, like this could be going through court case related problems, or fear on the account of enemies, or this could be health related concern, then this entry of Ketu in the Hasta Nakshatra is not a very good news. Over there it can kind of worsen the problems, so you have to remain cautious and careful. Now guys, when we talk about the Taurus Lagna natives, so guys, in your case now, as you can see that this transition is going to be taking place in your fifth house. Now fifth house, which tells about the functioning of your mind. Fifth house also tells about some sort of past life talents when we talk about Puru Punya. So I would say this thing that guys, whatever field you are operating, like working more on the focus and precision will become very important during this time. Like I would say this thing that if your work ethics and your work style is very superficial, then I don't see you guys getting much affected. But if you're a kind of person who has got a very meticulous eye for things, for perfection, then this transition of Ketu in the Hasta can actually do wonders for you, can bring miracles for you. Now this could happen in your line of work as well, and this can manifest in discovering some sort of hidden talents, landing at some important projects where you will be able to demonstrate your talents and all. So I would say this thing that specifically for the Taurus Lagna natives, it is a very good news, because fifth house tells about our mind. So your mind will be very much driven towards carving a niche, doing things in a very prescribed, in a very perfectionist way, being in the pursuit of knowledge, and a mystery spirituality will definitely attract the attention of many Taurus Lagna natives. Now guys, and definitely guys, in your case we cannot overlook this thing that Scorpio energy falls in your seventh house, and the moon energy falls in your third house. So that also tells about that discovering your talents because of the contribution coming in from your spouse, from your partner, or this could be running into someone with whom you will strike a chemistry in a very short span of time, like one meeting and you're like, oh my god, you look like my long lost friend. So that sort of camaraderie and chemistry with someone in a very short span of time, that spark in a very short span of time can be foreseen for the Taurus Lagna natives. But again guys, when it comes down to the mental anguish and agony, if you're falling prey and vulnerable over there, you already have concerns of any of the mental restlessness, unease over there, it can make things more difficult. So over there you have to be careful. Now guys, when we talk about the Gemini Lagna natives, so guys, in your case now, as you can see that Ketu is going to be entering into the Hasta Nakshatra in your fourth house. So guys, in your case, if you will pay attention, the energy of the Scorpio falls in your sixth house, and the energy of the moon falls in your second house. So one thing is for sure guys, that during this time, specifically if you are operating in the domain of healing, nourishment, therapy, comfort giving, this could be a very good time for you. Like the way many times happen is that things were there out there in the market, but you were able to find out some sort of missing loophole in the same offering, which gave you an upper edge, a competitive edge. Regarding that front, this could be a very good time. So I would say this thing that guys, it's a very good time for the Gemini Lagna natives to spend their money on gaining expertise in any given field or chosen field. I again want to make it very clear, if your work ethics and style is very superficial, it is not gonna benefit you, or this is not a transit to watch out for. But if you're a kind of person who craves for perfection, who has got a very meticulous way of operating, of working, then definitely guys, this transition of Ketu in the Hasta can benefit many Gemini Lagna natives. Now guys, when we talk about the Cancer Lagna natives, definitely guys, in your case this is going to become very important because your ascendant is ruled by moon, and Hasta is a nakshatra which is being ruled by moon only. So in a way, the entry of Ketu in your third house in your own nakshatra will definitely help you in getting into the deeper nuances in your line of work. Again guys, like the way I mentioned this thing, that Scorpio energy co-ruled by Ketu falls in your fifth house, which is also the house of your Pur Punya as well. So if you are a freelance person, self-employed person, you're in the fields of journalism or writing, so definitely people will find a very deeper kind of satire or deeper nuances in your offering, in the way you project or you manifest yourself. Your talents could also get discovered during this time. But again guys, I want to make it very clear, your talents will be appreciated, will come into the limelight only if they are unique and a hard work has been put in there. But let's say for example, if you belong to the category of doing things in a very superficial way, this might not benefit you that much. Also guys, during this time there is a very strong possibility people you connect with or people who will come in your network or your circle of influence will definitely leave a very deep lasting impression for the Cancer Lagna natives. And guys, nothing could be better than that if you're also going through the Mahadasha, Antardasha of Ketu as well. So some sort of psychic, esoteric experiences are awaiting for you. And like the way I mentioned, if you're a performing artist, so during this time you'll be able to find your niche, or I would say this thing that finding those things which is going to reinforce or embellish your offering, your services, your skill set in a very beautiful way. Now guys, when we talk about the Leo Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, this transition is going to be taking place in your second house. So guys, definitely Ketu has got a co-rulership of the Scorpio, which in your case falls in your fourth house, and it is taking place in the nakshatra ruled by Moon, which has got a rulership over your 12th house. So guys, one thing is for sure that when we talk about like those concerns where you will be able to find out that missing loop in your skill set, in your business model. Second thing is that a lot many times it has also been seen that some sort of secrets, family secrets which were hidden from you might be suddenly coming in contact with them as well. So overall guys, when it comes down to the impact of this transition which is taking place in your second house, so definitely if you are a skilled professional and somehow you charge for your skill, for the craftsmanship and all, so this transition in certain ways can benefit you. But definitely guys, pertaining to the matters of your finances, pertaining to the matters of your family integrity, family virtues and family related matters, it will be much better to keep it under wrap rather than revealing it to everyone. Now guys, when we talk about the Virgo Lagna natives, so definitely guys, in your case it is going to be taking place right over there in your Lagan, in your first house, where Ketu is going to be transiting into the Hasta Nakshatra. Now Ketu has got a rulership over your third house, and the energy of the moon falls in your 11th house. So guys, in certain ways this transition can actually work out in your benefit. Specifically if you are a skilled professional, you work with your hands, this could be a very beneficial time for you. Second thing is that guys, when it comes down to Ketu, we connect it with a hoisted flag. Ketu is a very spiritual, esoteric, mysterious planet. So in certain ways, I'm seeing you guys getting benefited. Let's say for example, if you have done something in the domain of spirituality, uplifting people, motivating people, or it has something to do with uniting people, or you are a skilled professional who has not been acknowledged, rewarded for all the hard work which you have done, or you have contributed in your relevant industry, so this transition can actually put you in the limelight, put you in the forefront. So yes guys, for suddenly discovering your talents or getting into contact with all those people who will serve some purpose, connect you with some important opportunities, connect you with some life purpose and all. So overall, in a nutshell, the transit of Ketu in your first house is a harbinger of good news. Now guys, when we talk about the Libra Lagna natives, so definitely guys, in your case, as you can see, the transition of the Ketu is going to be taking place in your 12th house, where Ketu is going to be entering in the Hasta Nakshatra. Now guys, because Ketu has got a co-rulership over your second house, and the energy of the moon falls in your 10th house. So guys, it's a kind of a mixed transition for the Libra Lagna natives. You know how much I love the Libra Lagna, and if I'm saying this thing, how bad I feel to say this. So I would say this thing that if there have been some secrets which have been there, which you have been hiding. So there's a slight possibility that they might get exposed or come onto the surface. And definitely guys, when I talk about secrets, it might have something to do with 10th house is the house of your profession, of your duties, and second house is the house of your finances. So like in those cases where there has been a concerns of embellishment of the funds or money which have been misappropriately used, granted to you by your employer and all. So in those cases people have to be little careful. Now guys, when we talk about the gifted side of this transition, so definitely guys, if you're chiefly operating in the domain of the 12th house, because guys, I always say this thing that 8th house is something which is somehow accessible with our own diligent efforts. 12th house is always hidden. So let's say for example, you are a researcher, you are an explorer, anything to do with the occult, anything to do with, you know, landing at those people who could connect you, who could make you skilled. Like the way we say this thing that astrology is certain, astrology, numerology, they're like certain courses which you can even enroll the offline courses of some sort of astrologers, and you can gain the knowledge. But when it comes down to certain fields, like we talk about healing professions, we talk about like tantra and all, you need a teacher, a disciple to guide you, to make you skilled in that hidden, unknown, forbidden field. So I mean to say that if your concerns are somehow hovering around the matters of the unknown, or something which is untapped and unexplored in your surrounding influence, so I would say this thing that able to discover them, able to gain a mastery over them, able to attract those people who will serve some purpose. So I would say that regarding that front, this could be a good news, good indication for you. Now guys, for the Scorpio Lagna natives, so guys, in your case, definitely this transition is taking place in your 11th house. Ketu has got a co-rulership over your first house, and Moon, the nakshatra in which Ketu is going to be transiting, has got a rulership over your 9th house. So guys, definitely this is going to be a time of spiritual awakening, all those talents of yours which have not been discovered yet, have been discovered so far. You might get a chance, and because of that only, being able to carve your niche, being able to hoist your flag, you know, kind of announce your coming, announce your talents, that sort of yoga is getting formed for the Scorpio Lagna natives. Definitely guys, like the way I mentioned this thing, this transition or this combination can only benefit those people who crave for perfection, who have a very meticulous way of operating. Let's say for example, if your work style is very superficial, then this might not benefit you. And again guys, because Ketu has got affinity with the 5th house as well, somehow because 5th house is connected with the Pur Punya, from the 11th house Ketu is already aspecting the 5th house. So I would say this thing that guys, running into those kind of events, those kind of people, those sort of events happening in your life which can give a complete U-turn to your life, which can connect you with your life purpose and all. So regarding that front, this transition of Ketu in the Hasta is a good news for lot many Scorpio Lagna natives. Now guys, when we talk about the Sagittarius Lagna natives, so guys, definitely in your case, this transition is taking place in your 10th house, where Ketu is going to be entering in the Hasta Nakshatra. So now guys, in your case, definitely it's a little bit dark or vulnerable zone where Ketu can take you, because Ketu has got a co-rulership over your 12th house, Scorpio energy falls over there, and Moon has got a, like the nakshatra where Ketu is transiting, Moon's nakshatra. So Moon in your case has got a rulership over the 8th house. So I would say this thing that this is a kind of a transition in Ketu's energies where lot many sudden unpredictable things can happen at your line of work. Now again guys, nothing to worry about. See, understand this thing, Hasta has got everything to do with gaining that perfection. So this could be a case that, let's say for example, whatsoever you meant to learn, whatsoever the universe conspires to teach you, your journey towards that will happen in a very sudden, unpredictable, mysterious, in a very dark way. So be very much welcoming towards all those sort of transition. Second thing is that guys, definitely because here we are talking about 10th house and with the involvement of the Hasta. So if you are a skilled professional, you work with your hands, you are a mechanic, you are a surgeon, you are a graphic designer. So I would say this thing that this is a time for not getting driven towards followers or just getting work done. If you will work with a very meticulous, with a very perfectionist kind of way, with that sort of work style, the benefits and the gifts attached will be huge, that I can assure to all the Sagittarius Lagna natives. Now guys, when we talk about the Capricorn Lagna natives, definitely guys, in your case, as you can see this thing that Ketu is going to be getting into this transition mode in your 9th house. Ketu has got a co-rulership over the Scorpio, which in your case falls in your 11th house, and the energy of the moon falls in your 7th house. So definitely guys, it's a very blessed time for a lot many Capricorn Lagna natives, in a way that you will be driven towards doing something which is going to uplift and inspire a lot many people. Omens will definitely play a very important role. Guys, you would not believe, what happened, I'm doing a mall activity. So day before yesterday, I was in the mall. There was this very reputed senior physician from one of the very renowned medical institute and hospital in India. He visited me out of the blue. So he first started with this thing that, Nipun, I have a database of all those cancer patients with this combination. I can share it with you, because there was one stage where I got interested in learning astrology as well. And then when he was talking about the miracles, he told me this one incident where what happened, there was this guy, he was announced like his ECG was almost 0, if I'm using the right term, medical term which he mentioned, and that guy was almost lost with no hope, almost dead. And the doctor, he by himself asked the wife, it was a Muslim lady, so he asked her, we have to empty the bed so you can take the body. The wife said that, please can you grant me just 1.5 hours, his father is going to be arriving soon, just till that time do not remove him from the bed. And she kept on doing the namaz or prayer for 1.5 hours, and by the end of the 1.5 hours his fingers moved and he is still alive now. So I was like, I got the goosebumps when he shared that story. And he was like a doctor, very logical, practical, realistic, relevant person. So that's what I'm saying, that the power of faith, the power of blessing, power of dua is something which we generally connect with the 9th house. And I'm sure that if you have to do those sort of faith healing, those sort of miracles, alignment is always something like this, where the kind of combination which is getting formed right now for the Capricorn Lagna natives. I do not know from where I got this example, but it is actually falling relevant in this situation as well. Moon has got a rulership of the 7th house of the spouse, and Ketu has got a rulership over the 11th house of wish fulfillment, sitting in the 9th house of the prayers and the devotion. So yes guys, I would say this thing that during this time you have this capacity to attract very relevant teachers, kind of guides or mentors in your life who will connect you in the right path. And again guys, do not be bit startled if the form of teaching is kind of bit foreign to you. A lot many times we are in our comfort zone. Like if you remember, if you have watched that movie, The Karate Kid, so Mr. Miyagi, for the initial few days he just kept on asking the guy to clean the car, do these things. So the teaching and the mentors might come, enter your life, and the guidance will be a bit unusual, but it will definitely serve some purpose, that I can assure to all the Capricorn Lagna natives. Now guys, when we talk about the Aquarius Lagna natives, so yes guys, in your case this is going to be a little bit dark or vulnerable zone, because this transition is taking place in your 8th house, and whatsoever happens in the 8th house, it happens in a taboo, in a very unpredictable, unusual way. Now in your case guys, the good part is that Ketu has got a co-rulership over your 10th house, and the energy of the moon falls in your 6th house. So one thing is for sure, that whatsoever is gonna happen, it will happen first putting you at discomfort, putting you at unease, then only it will start churning out the good aspect of its results and functioning for you. Second thing is that guys, like the way you know this thing, that whenever we talk about Ketu being in the Hasta, it has got more to do with like people who are working with their hands, who are skilled professionals. And Ketu and the 8th house amalgamation has got a lot to do with the research, with the exploration, with the mysteries, with the being engaged in the occult and the unseen realm. So if you're also operating over there as well, I would say this thing that definitely some nature omens will definitely conspire in line with making you perfect in your line of work. And definitely guys, during this time, my recommendation to the Aquarians is that do not go for the superficiality. Bring that perfection in your line of work. Put much hard work to the detailed nuances, and the results will be very kind of uplifting to you guys. That is all what I can say. And lastly guys, when we talk about the Pisces Lagna natives, so definitely guys, in your case the alignment is taking place in such a way that like Ketu is transiting in the Hasta Nakshatra, taking place in your 7th house. So guys, definitely Ketu has got a co-rulership over your 9th house, and Moon has got a co-rulership over your 5th house. So guys, regarding this front, that if you want to do something in the matters of the public domain, this could be a very beneficial transit for you, because Ketu in the Hasta has got everything to do with, like, Ketu is about omens, it's about nature, third power, and Hasta has got everything to do with gaining that perfection, being very skilled with your commitments, with your word, with your time, with your craft. All of that taking place in the 7th house, it means that you will run into those projects, you will run into those people, and even in your deeper intimate bond as well, your partner will definitely play a very important role. And definitely guys, why I mention omens, because Ketu and the 9th house is also coming into consideration, and energy of the 5th house has got everything to do with all those sort of talents which are deeply engraved in your manas, in your subconsciousness, and being able to churn out and extract them. So yes guys, I would say this thing that whatsoever people you will encounter during this time, and your public dealing and your partner will definitely play a very important role. Nature and omens will definitely play a very significant role in granting you your life purpose or making you perfect in your craft. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.